Hello, welcome to my review of Use of Weapons by Iain and Banks, part of the Culture Universe. It's a science fiction, published in 1990. What more do you need to know? Well, probably a bit more if you're watching the review. So to sort of make clear how much I enjoy this book, if somebody were to come up to me and sort of tell me, I'm only going to read one book per author, well, first of all, I'd just ask them why. After receiving a response, which I'm sure would be perfectly justified, I'll tell them, when it comes to Iain and Banks, take Use of Weapons and place that at sort of the top of the list of the books you'll read by him. It's a fantastic novel. And what makes it so great, I can sort of hear you cry out. Well, it's got a great cast of characters, sort of come together nicely, play off each other nicely. Very witty dialogue, quite entertaining and funny at times. But it's mainly the intrigue behind the characters that you're focused on, and that really drives the plot forward and / or backward, depending on the perspective of things. So the intrigue of the characters is sort of done really well, and the plot's constantly being driven forward, but it's sort of underlined by this brilliant structure. Its narrative structure, which is the most interesting aspect of the novel for me. So, every other chapter is sort of going forward chronologically, and that's the main thrust of the action of the plot. But the alternate chapters in between are going backwards, and they're focused on the main characters, the Calway. And, you really get to grips with the history and the secrets behind this character. And that feeds into the main narrative, or the other strand, I should say. And when it comes together at the end, you sort of put all these aspects together, and you sort of realise, what certain points of interest, mean to this character, and how it all comes about. And the payoff at the end is just fantastic. It's a great conclusion. And it's sort of typical Banks, I guess. He has this interesting structure that sort of drives the plot and narrative forward. It all comes together at the end to create this great conclusion. So if you are into science fiction, or you have enjoyed other Iain Banks novels or Iain M. Banks novels, definitely give this one a try if you've not read it before. Some people might be put off by the structure, might find it a bit too complicated, or they might find out the plot sort of falters because of it. But when you get to the ending, it all just comes together and it does pay off. So I thought it was done really well. So what's the book about? Well, I'm going to have to read the blurb to recall the character names correctly. So there's this guy called Shiradinine Sikalway, who's sort of taken out of hiding or retirement by Dizzy Exmar, who's sort of gone hunting him to send him on this mission. Now, Sikalway, he's a special circumstances agent, so he works for the culture, and what he does is he travels to other planets or societies outside of the culture, and he influences them through diplomatic means, or through politics, or through warfare, through the art of war. And what his aim is to do is to drive them to a point where the culture's aims and ambitions can be fulfilled without the culture being seen to have meddled in the other people's society. So it's really sort of underhand tactics, I guess. And the rest of the plot's sort of driven as the mission is sort of being undertaken, and constantly being referred to Sikalway's past, and you're going backwards in time. And that's really when the big payoffs start happening, when you can start putting the pieces together. So I won't say too much more about it, because I think it's one of those books that you definitely have to sort of experience firsthand to sort of get the full enjoyment out of. There's quite a lot of nice philosophy throughout the book as well. I think one of the interesting things is, the way Iain Banks has dealt with the culture and how you view the culture. So in Consider Flavors, the first in the series, you're sort of seeing it from the outside, from an enemy of the culture. You can sort of understand, why the culture can be seen as a bad society, as sort of this benevolent dictatorship, but a gilded cage is still a cage, and it's sort of seeing it from a perspective of somebody who has something to live for other than just pure happiness. And the second book, Player of Games, takes a citizen of a culture who's whiling away his time, just fulfilling his own needs, and puts him in an empire outside. And you sort of see the despotic nature of this empire. You can sort of get to grips with why the culture would want to sort of be a part of harmonising other societies to become more like them. And this one gives you another unique take. So you're sort of seeing the dirty work of the culture. You're seeing how they sort of meddle in other people's affairs, and they do cause harm and upset, but they sort of get away with it because they're doing it unseen. So that's quite interesting. You often get sort of bits of dialogue that's just really nice to read, about the art of war, about the use of weapons. There's one part where a bloke's just sort of cleaning a table. He's just saying, I'm doing it because it makes me happy, so why not? One of the other quotes I enjoyed, it's just a minor quote, but I think it's Zakawa who says it. It says, the art of doing nothing is itself a statement, or something along those lines. And that sort of, rang a bit true in my head, I guess. So I thought that's a nice, interesting quote. But it's also got, bits of humour, as I say, funny dialogue, just daft little things. So it's a fun read, but it's a good read as well. So definitely one worth putting on your shelf if you haven't read it before. So thank you for watching. This was Use of Weapons by Iain M. Banks. As I say, it's a great novel. I guess I'll see you later. So see ya.